to the point, factual and fearless.
What he seeks to do is to bring attention to some of the ills or some of the problems that we have. And even though it's often very spicy, I was telling him that he could add some ketchup on the side.
Oh, you should add some ketchup. It's too hot for you, eh?
Too hot.
I don't get surprised when people criticize you. But I think you are doing a good job.
Thank you, sir.
And don't at all think about what people will say. Continue with the objective work that you are doing. And definitely it will help this nation. Because you are not doing it for yourself. But what Ghanaians cannot say is what you are saying.
Charlie, no be joke. The pressure people like Johnnie can give you.
No.
You no get grey hair, you go get grey hair.
I'm innocent.
And that's what I'm saying. That the pressure Johnnie and his people, the pressure they can give you, you no get grey hair, you go get. So your best bet is not to have hair.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbanallah wa ni'ma wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. And Johnny's Bite now is brought to you by Cocoa Dairy Free Coconut Milk. It's available at Melcom supermarkets, Ernest Chemist shops, Opoku Trading in Edum, Kumasi, Sanctex in Cape Coast, Bachuna Total, and supermarkets across the country. Just pick up your phone and call 0277 4440 180. That's 0277 0274 440180. Visit Facebook page at Cocoa Dairy Free GH. It's good for you, it's healthy, it's nutritious. Get it, support them, and make sure that Johnny's Bite comes to you day by day. While we are still thinking about what the president has said to us, and perhaps the president needs his senior advisor, Mr. Yasef Mafu, to remind him that, Mr. President, you are still a servant of the people, and that you actually beg the people for power. So when the people from all quarters of this country, largely, we have had even people from the MPP. I interviewed Engineer Kwabena Jepong. He said, look, the decision of the president not to reshuffle is novel, never seen before. Dr. Nyahunya Otamaklu, he said, he dared the president. He said the president cannot reshuffle because the Akufo-Addo that he knew then is not the Akufo-Addo that's in power now. So many other people have called for reshuffle, but the president says, yeah, in Ethiopia. We perhaps would need the senior advisor to the president. Or maybe the senior advisor himself could be reshuffled, so he may just not want to talk to the president. But while we think about all of that and whether or not we have put ourselves in so tight a corner that the president who is supposed to be serving us doesn't want to be listening to us, it's in itself a problem. So I don't know if the Council of Elders of the New Patriotic Party are listening. Please call the president and tell him that the people say, and there are benefits to this reshuffle. Some demand to be outrightly sacked. Some need to be moved from one point to the other. So not everybody asking for a reshuffle is jobless. That for me was a low blow, very disrespectful to the people who are asking for a reshuffle. Not everybody is looking for a job. And not everybody wants to destabilize it. In fact, presently as it is now, if this is the Team A, as the president himself said back in the day when he was an opposition, like, this is Team A. The Team A has already destabilized the country and your government. Your Team A, they have destabilized your country because you have failed Moody's, you have failed Fitch, you have failed S&P, you have failed every rating that has been done on your government. In spite of what you say, you have failed all of it. IMF is talking. The World Bank is here, IMF is here. You have run to the IMF for support. And yet you say they have been outstanding. Outstanding in which sense? Outstanding in which sense? That for more than 3 years you change the curriculum and the school children can't find textbooks. You say you have been outstanding. What kind of outstanding is that? What kind of outstanding is that? That for 3 years you change curriculum, it's just talk. You can't even print textbooks. Children go to school and they are vacating without writing exams. There's no assessment. And you say you have been outstanding. Outstanding in what direction? Outstanding in what direction? That's what I'm asking. I don't want to even talk about it. So maybe some people need to call the president and tell him, Bosu, stop the talk. Get action for us. And stop sounding like an opposition leader, please. But today, I am a very happy man because as one of 8 ambassadors for the USAID's Justice Sector Support Activity, one of 8 of them, myself, Manasseh Azuri, Awuni, said Kwame Boateng, Abdulhai Mumin, a couple of us, 8 of us, were made ambassadors of the Justice Sector Support Activity, Ibrahim as well. And I decided that a matter that had happened in Kulpi, a town up north, around the Salaga area, I was going to take a quick interest in it. So when the story first broke, and our correspondent there in the Savannah region, Christopher Mwaku, I doffed my hat for you, Chris. The pressure that Samir Uku was talking about, which I gave to Chris, today has brought us a success, and I'll give you a chronology of it. But knowing full well that we have had what the USAID, and by the help of Ghanaians, had created what they call the case tracking system. The US government decided to help us to create a case tracking system. A case tracking system. And I remember that on that occasion, I asked Danny, find me this video. Danny, find me that video. Danny, put this for me. So it's been a whole conglomerate working together. You have Lord and Kwame Amu in the 3 newsroom. You have the guys in the Media General newsroom working in tandem to make sure that this matter, we set up our own case tracking system within the Media General space. Now, this was a situation that had been occasioned because since 2018, the U.S. government had helped us to create the case tracking system under the Justice Sector Support Activity. So it was to help IOCO, it was to help Ghana Prison Service, it was to help Ghana Police Service, it was to help the Legal Aid Commission, and it was to help, everybody else, the judiciary, 5 of these institutions, to be able to deliver justice to people who are either accused, people who find themselves in front of the law, on the wrong side of the law. Since 2018, some information I have is that the people who are supposed to make the system work say they are now trying to understand the system. So we created it because what the case tracking system will do is that it prevents corruption, it prevents people from being arrested, thrown into remand, and people are on remand as we speak now. Imagine if we operationalize the case tracking system fully. We won't have a situation where people are remanded for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, some 10 years, some 15 years. So when this matter broke on the 27th of September 2021, when the convict was arrested, Natoma Otabel, Natoma Yamosukro Otabel, is a social studies teacher who is supposed to teach the children sense and how to live in harmony in society, how to obey the laws and how to be responsible, how to be dutiful towards society. Social studies teacher, employed by the Ghana Education Service. And I'll talk about the lax attitude of the Ghana Education Service, the lax attitude of the Ministry of Education, the lax attitude of the Gender, Children and Social Protection Ministry. He slept with 19 boys of his students, 19. He's a social studies teacher. His job is to teach them how to live right. And he caught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 of his students and slept with all of them through their backside. Now, the whole country has been quiet about this matter. Imagine if there had been just 2 girls or 1 girl. I'm not saying anybody should go and be raping or, if you like, defiling girls. But I'm saying 19 boys. And I've been on this matter since the 27th of September 2021. So almost a year now. Finally, we have justice. He's been caged for 7 years. But I'm saying, think about it briefly. That if a teacher had raped 1 girl, 2 girls, the kind of noise that would have made in this country. But 19 boys were sodomized by no less a person than their social studies teacher who I'm also told is an elder of a church. He was an SU president. He goes around the village preaching to the people. You see how they use God and they shroud everything in God. That is why Agrada can commit all the crimes in the world. As soon as she says she's an evangelist, all the crime vanishes. Case tracking system. So the presiding magistrate in this particular matter, when Natoma was arrested, it took the GES forever to issue a statement. I stood here, I called them out. It took forever for the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection to issue a statement. I stood there, I called them out. Eventually, they wrote a cosmetic statement, one statement. That was it. And they even promised in the statement that they were going to provide psychosocial support for the children. That's because we asked for it here. And I said we created our own case tracking system because what was created in 2018 for our benefit, which could have given these children quick justice. The people who are supposed to make it work, Yoko, Ghana Police, Ghana Prisons, the Legal Aid Commission, the judiciary, they say they are now trying to understand the system. That's how we are. But the minister has been outstanding, according to Akufo-Addo. But as a presiding magistrate in this matter, who is, if you will, my star, he traveled all the way from Accra, went all the way to Salaga to ensure that the gentleman was remanded. Because he was attending an annual conference, a magistrate of the remand. Now, I want to see the magistrate's name again. Remind me quickly who the magistrate was, because it skipped me a bit. David Sebeam, magistrate court. He traveled from Accra, where he was attending an annual conference, magistrates, to remand the accused because tension was brewing in the town of Kupi. Tension was brewing. The case was first heard at the Salaga Magistrate Court before it was referred to the Tamale Circuit Court. In between that, there was a case that was referred to the Tamale Circuit Court for hearing, with the accused pleading guilty. He admitted that, yes, I slept with the boys. He admitted that I slept with the boys, 19 boys. And I show you how many stories we did on it on 3 News. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stories. And just to prove that we did our own case tracking system, we followed consistently. And I'll call Chris and I push. Because you see, when we say fix the system, this is what we're asking for. We didn't have to do all of that. Well, the accused was granted bail on his 3rd appearance for him to go for medical examination because they wanted to check his brain, whether he is right up there. And you know, in the schools, we are told by GES, this same Ghana Education Service, that we have guidance and counseling units that are supposed to counsel children like this when they go through situations of this nature. Ask me how relevant the guidance, the so-called guidance and counseling units have been in this matter. Ask me. And ask me what kind of psychological support has been given to these children and their families. Because the children who were sodomized became laughing stock in the communities. Danny, there's one of the stories where one of the victims said the teacher did it 3 times in his bedroom and 1 time in the farm, slept with the boy through his backside. 3 times in the room, 1 time on the farm. Find it for me. Danny is part of the pack. So the case has been over 8 adjournments due to delays in getting access to a medical report. A medical report conducted on the accused. In fact, the families rejected the first claim. The children are traumatized up until now. Lawyer for the accused told the court that his client was mentally unstable and prayed for psychiatric assessment, a usual thing that happens. So the court granted, but it said, no, well, they should first go for the assessment conducted at the Pantine Hospital. It was rejected by the judge because the accused went alone. Now, you have sodomized the boys. And then you go and then alone on your own without any witnesses, go and take a test. So the judge, a very wise judge, says, I reject it. Then came a second assessment which was conducted at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. And that even raises concern. When the matter happened in Salaga, they had to move all the way to Tamale to do the first assessment. And yet we are told that it's been outstanding. common facilities to check these things. Say it's been outstanding. So the court on August 9 convicted and sentenced him to 7 years imprisonment. That's yesterday, which is the minimum sentence. I was wondering why he was not given the maximum sentence. He has ruined 19 different lives and the people who may depend on them. Do you know what the boys could be going through? Because the school, that's a Kupi school, we have teachers now asking to be transferred from that school because admission has dropped, school attendance has dropped. Some of the boys have dropped out of school. They are not going to school. And as a country, we are not giving them psychosocial support. That's my pain. 19 boys. Flip the coin. Put 19 girls in there. 19 boys. Flip the coin. Put 19 girls there. And we have all these human rights community groups who only find their voices when it's women. But when it's men, it's okay. We have no blood in us. And we have a Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection that has become a bigger version of a Mothers Union or a Women's Fellowship or a Girls Guide Association. Your job is Gender, Children and Social Protection. These are boys sodomized by their social studies teacher. So then I asked the question, what kind of assessment does the Ghana Education Service do? Assessment the Ministry of Education do? Before they put teachers here, did they do that medical assessment? And what kind of monitoring and evaluation happens? Because there's a circuit supervisor, there's a district supervisor, there's a whatever supervisor. They all get paid. How frequently do they go to these village schools, or they just stay within the cities? And then once in a while they go to these village schools because a lot of rot are happening. A lot of rot is happening. Can you imagine that you take your child to school and then the social studies teacher who pretends to be a man of God, who pretends to be the one leading Wednesday service, who pretends to be teaching the children how to live morally right, who pretends to be preaching them, to be shaping them, is the one sleeping with them through their backside. Education ministry, quiet. Gender ministry, quiet. I said they wrote one statement. That is after we had even pushed them through our own case tracking system, because the case tracking system that the U.S. government set up for us in 2018, we have refused to make it work. This is enough reason why we must get the case tracking system to work. And I tell you, if we had not been on this matter, and we had not had the judges who were firm and the magistrates who were firm and were grateful to the court, this matter could have been swept under the carpet. Better yet, Mr. Otabel himself could have been kept in remand for God knows how long. They could have thrown his docket away and people would have gone to sleep. People are going through that pain. So this is a wake-up call to the new minister who has been, the deputy who has been elevated, yet awaiting his vetting or her vetting. Your first job, madam, get your feet to Kupi. Because if the structure is there and the students refuse to go to school, it's an indictment on us. If the children go to school and they are traumatized and they are afraid because parents have withdrawn their students and taken them to other schools, you need to be watching and checking. Which other teacher is doing what to which other students in schools in the country? And recently you heard one of the teacher union leaders saying that if the female teachers do not avail themselves for the teachers to have access to them, then the female students will continue to be at their beck and call. You heard it. Such an irresponsible statement. You are supposed to be teaching the student, not to be eating them. Teach them, don't eat them. So I am happy about this matter, and I'm happy that our little experiment since the 27th of September 2021 has yielded results, our own case tracking system. Now we want the nation of Ghana to pay attention to the case tracking system. We want the nation of Ghana to pay attention to what was created for you and handed over to you to help you in your justice delivery. Ghana Police, IGP, good morning to you. Ghana Prisons, the Director General, good morning to you. Good morning to you, to the boss at the, Legal Aid. Good morning to you. Good morning, Mami Yatiwa of Yoko. Good morning to you. And good morning to our friends at the judiciary as well. Good morning to you. make the case tracking system work, because even though relatives and family members are happy that justice has finally been served, they are never unhappy about a few issues, and that's what we're wrapping up on. Up until today, the victims are yet to know their medical status, as the medical examination report conducted on the victims still unknown to them. So whether the teacher has infected them with HIV, syphilis, herpes, whatever it is, they don't know. That's a problem. The psychosocial support that was promised them by the gender ministry for the victims and their families has not happened today, because Ajua Safo was on TikTok when Cecilia Dapa came. She came to issue the statement, but they have not done that. Number 3, most of the victims have dropped from the school, as I told you before, because of the stigma. The parents are also withdrawing their children from the school. That's a danger. Some of the teachers have also written to the GES office in Salaga seeking transfer, and yet the GES is yet to comment on the allegation of the families that the victims as to why they have failed to provide psychosocial support to the victims and their families. These are my critical issues. And I'm asking these questions because the report that we did, and this is a message that the teacher sent to Christopher Mwako. We're wrapping up. He said, your report on the SODOMY case has achieved results. Though sad that this is happening to a colleague, I think that it will serve as a deterrent to other offenders. As a student, I think, as a student leader, I think that it shouldn't end there. The impact of the incident should be investigated, and the victims and their relatives also looked into. They're fully aware that things haven't been the same since this happened, and he says that some teachers are asking for transfer. This is a wake-up call to us. So, Minister for Education, good morning to you. Minister for Gender, good morning to you. Presidential Advisor, good morning to you. I'm just saying good morning to all of you. Make the case tracking system work. Danny, play this video and let's end.
What you want probably the GES to have done is maybe to have come out to condemn the act. And I'm saying that we couldn't have done that, especially when investigations have not been terminated.
You that the children had not been given psychological support, no level of counseling from the GES's guidance and counseling units in the school. I can tell you this on authority. I mean, what
do you mean by psychological support? Because at the end of the day, you are trying to, how do you call it, break the components of the medical support. The most important thing is that they get the medical support, which, as I speak to you, the medical examination has been done.
I'm coming. MP and an NGO.
And what does it change?
Has the teacher been suspended?
The case is in court.
Up to now, we've seen nothing. In fact, there was a news item that
the matter is in court. So
no, the matter in court doesn't mean that no, the matter in court doesn't mean that GES cannot come to the aid of the students. I heard that at a certain point in time they were referred to Tamale Teaching Hospital.
That's right.
And when they couldn't get even transportation to go there, or even when they got there, they couldn't pay for the services.
So it took Helping Kids and the MP, Haja Zuera, to foot that bill.
Exactly. But Johnny, that was the duty of the police. They were investigating. They ought to have run the test for them.
No.
Not the GS.
Kwesi, hold on. Kwesi, I think that you're getting it wrong. Counsel is here.
Yes.
When you are raped, sodomized, or defiled, the police will give you a medical form.
Okay.
You, the victim, will have to foot the bill.
Okay.
That's all right?
Yeah.
So when you say it is the job of the police to foot the bill,
no, we are talking about the case.
Where are the police supposed to get the money from?
Where was GS supposed to get the money from? Are they on all state institutions?
I see.
Are they on all state institutions?
We're going to Greece and Turkey for the Afro Cruise Jam. A 7-day cruise experience filled with culture, discovery, and music from Ghana's high life giant, Abranteɛ Amachidede, the Iron Boy.
Abranteɛ Amachidede, I'm inviting you to the Afro Cruise Jam. It's going to be serious.
serious.
Live from September 7th to September 13th. Hosted by Grammy Award-winning hitmaker Grams Morgan.
Yeah, man, Grams Morgan, I'm telling you, I'm going to be your host.
It's the Afro Cruise Jam. Live on a Celestial Olympia cruise ship. It's an all-inclusive package. Book